heavyweights in the East, but Boston's sort of scuffling right now.
That doesn't mean anything. They're still a heavyweight in the East. Right now, obviously, they had some injuries. They're still waiting for some guys to help. We are too, but regardless of the fact that they're still a very good ball club and they can play at a high level. So even though they've lost some games and up and down, they're still a heavyweight in the East, and we got to go out there and play like it and respect them.
Just being in that room, can you see a lack of chemistry? That's what everybody's talking about.
I mean, every team has ups and downs. No season's going to be perfect. I've said I've been to finals, I've won. Even then, the team, the chemistry wasn't always great throughout the whole year, even here. We had a stretch there where it was really rough for us. I think, after the San Antonio game, we started to realize what we needed to do better and started playing a little bit more team basketball and kind of got on the right track in the Milwaukee game. And since then, we've been on a decent pace and kind of progressing little by little in the right direction. But the season's going to be ups and downs, and we just don't want to be the team that they find the rhythm with.
How much of that too is trying to find exactly what you're talking about? They're finding your rhythm, just worrying about what
A lot of
doing
it.
as opposed to what everybody else
A lot of it, especially with injuries, guys coming in and out and playing with different lineups. You're still figuring each other out a little bit. In your role, some guys have to pick up some of the slack. Some guys have to, pull back some, figure out who they're playing with. Different types of minutes. So I said, they're a good ball club, and we don't want to be the team that they start, getting their rhythm on or finding their way. We want to continue to try to play good basketball like we've been playing, and hopefully to limit them to not, get their rhythm.
Why would you say the chemistry has generally been positive? Like, why have you guys integrated two starters and down the three where that's not?
I would say when Kalo and JV was out, it was tough with those guys out. But regardless, we've always been next man up, and we've had some good guys, some guys coming to the bench giving us some great minutes. Obviously with Fred, and he's been in and out as well. But we have so many options. I think because we're so deep, we're able to still play with some guys out, or if the guy's out of the lineup, or we have another guy behind him that is not saying just as good, but very good as well, and can do some great things. That's where we're fortunate. Other teams don't have that. But they're finding it, and I'm sure this is going to help a lot of those teams build character and help their team get deeper when they, further in the playoffs or further in the season when they have everybody healthy. But it's an 82-game season, and injuries are going to happen.
Do teams kind of sometimes need to go through a little?
For sure.
Drama's maybe
you got to. A little adversity. You need adversity, and that comes in many different shapes, sizes, and forms. Whether it's in the locker room, whether it's injuries, whether it's shooting or on the court, or coaching staff, whatever it may be. There's got to be some adversity to help you build that character, that chip, that mindset, and that maturity for when it's crunch time down the stretch in the season, end games. Be prepared for it.
You mentioned the San Antonio game. Like, what about that experience kind of helped get people's attention?
We got our ass kicked. The best way to learn is get your ass kicked sometimes, and figure it out. And we don't want to keep let that happen. So we want to play better basketball, not embarrass ourselves on national television. We got to figure out a way. And it starts with our guys, our leaders, and I think our leaders have done a great job since that point. And not just the guys that vocal leaders, but our leaders on the court. And I think since that game, you can see there's a big change in how they've approached it. Well, not approached, but how they've read certain plays, certain things, and made things contagious for us to be playing, positive, great basketball.
That experience you guys went through in San Antonio, you weren't playing, but just getting your ass kicked, which is his words, kind of helped you guys since it kind of helped focus.
Knowing that every night is going to be a challenge for us. We're one of the top teams in the NBA. One of the top teams in the NBA. So everybody's going to be ready to go. That game in San Antonio, the game in Orlando, didn't play up to par. And when we don't play up to par, you lose games, and you kind of get your ass kicked.
Why do you think Norm's been able to play so consistently well for a long period of time now?
Just think he's been more patient. I think the only game we struggled a little bit was the Atlanta game. He was try to force a few things, but I think just being more patient, understanding that it's going to come, and then just being secure in what you're doing and being okay. I got my spot. I know where my minutes are. I know where my shots may come. So it's just a little bit more patience, and with the maturity.
Do veterans have to sort of talk him through that
No.
tendency not to try to do too much?
I think he just figured. I talked to him, but I think he's been figuring out over the years. So it's just got to be secure with what he does on the floor.
With Boston struggling, you guys still feel the skill in the top. So
I don't think they're stretch. They lost a few games. That's about it. Everyone goes through a stretch when they're still one of the top teams in the NBA. They're one of the best home teams they got there in the NBA. Their talent is unlimited. So it is no. Oh, they're still one of the top teams that we're going to go against.
Is it big enough in the year now that you guys can look at the East standings and think about things like a tiebreaker against Boston?
Nah, Blake.
You've been around a long time. When do you start looking at that kind of thing? March, April? Like what?
I think in March,
Yeah.
mid-March. You still got like a month left, and you're like, okay, seeing what's what, and for me, I love looking at the Western Conference. Right, honestly, it's unbelievable what that Western Conference is like. So it's pretty cool to watch. The other side, but for our conference, you just see what's going on, but you don't pay attention to it in depth.
What do you like in the West?
What I like in the West?
Yeah.
They're good basketball teams out in the whole NBA. There's 29 good basketball teams and 29 really, really talented basketball teams.
What do you think about a guy like Harden getting 57 points on 60% usage, no Capella, no Paul? What's to say about him?
Hey, man. Pretty good basketball. He's pretty fun to watch.
Is he?
It's pretty fun to watch. I enjoy watching basketball. Like I said, I love watching individual players. There's some really talented basketball players in this NBA, and you just like to watch. You just enjoy their talent, their abilities. It's pretty cool.
There will be fans who will say it's not aesthetically pleasing to watch games because he plays so much one-on-one and so dribbles the ball so often. Like, from a player's perspective, what do you appreciate of that?
Wins. Winning is a big thing and all that, and everybody's not going to play the perfect, beautiful passing go basketball. Whatever helps your team win and whatever your team needs you to do to win games, that's all that really matters. Wins and losses in this league is really the only thing that matters.
To that point that you guys have talked about in spite of injuries and lineup shuffles and everything else, do you guys still look at it and say, we got to get better?
Yes, every night. We got to get better every day, matter of fact. Not night, every day. We have to continue to get better, stronger. Guys got to get healthier, better conditioning, everything. We just got to continue to get better. You can't be satisfied with, this. No, we got to continue to get better every day, every hour.
Are you impressed with what you guys have done as a team, considering where you are in spite of all that?
No.
Is this courtesy of Beal? Is that the last
Nah. This is a courtesy of DeMari Carroll.
What do you think has worked well so far to this point? I mean, you're adding Kawhi, Danny, two starters. That kind of displaces other guys sometimes.
Just got a good
Why has
team,
it sort
man.
of kind of been
To be honest with you, we got a good team. We got a bunch of guys that want to win. A bunch of guys that's smart enough to understand situational, that what's going to happen. I think that's it. We got guys that can step up, guys who understand their roles at times, and sometimes you need more, sometimes you need less. So I think all those things kind of accumulate to make a good team.
Everybody's going at things here. Was it as impactful in your eyes as it was in his?
It's looking back on it now, it is a little bit. I just think that, I continue to think about it a little bit here. I think it, it gave us a little bit of a wake-up call. I'm not so sure, again, that I was treating it like kind of a whole-hum regular season game, and it probably wasn't the right thing to do, right? So, certainly love the response that we've got since getting our doors blown off, right? We've responded very well. We've played very well. Feel like we're got a lot of swagger back, and feel like we think we're a good team when we step on the floor and we play like it.
How did it change the way you guys are playing? Like, how did it get you back to what you were doing? Like, what changed?
Well, the biggest thing was, and I think we might have talked about this already, but the biggest thing was we showed them a lot of the defensive game plan mistakes that we did not execute down there, right? And just like, hey, here's what we're supposed to be doing, here's what we did, and we don't give ourselves a chance if we're going to do this. And they kind of fixed it immediately, right? They kind of, the next game out in Milwaukee, when we're saying, play this guy this way and send him this way, and this is where they did it, and it's funny. Well, and again, I tell them this all the time. I'm not sitting here saying we're some magicians in our coverages, but we're on the same page. That's the main thing, right? There's coverages we can play, and there's game plans we can do, and if we're on the same page, they're probably going to work. And if they're not, maybe we're not doing them hard enough, or maybe we don't have them quite right, and we make an adjustment. We can figure it out eventually, but we can't go anywhere if we don't have a start at trying to do them correctly.
And on the offensive side, I mean, the ball movement after that in that Milwaukee game took another huge jump. I mean, Serge pointed out, I think after the game, he was like, Kawhi was passing the ball, Pascal was passing the ball, and then everybody was passing the ball.
Yeah, I think there's been some improvement, right? Maybe in this little stretch, there was one other game that wasn't that good, but most of the time, I think we've been more patient. We've come down, we've looked, we've had them, we've had chances to do something, and it wasn't quite good enough, and we would kind of pull back out and re-attack again, and then we'd get something really good, right? I thought we patiently have looked for really good shots a lot more lately, instead of just taking the first action and throwing up so-so stuff.
You look at the Celtics; they struggled a little bit lately, and then some conversation about I know you can't comment on other teams, but why is this team added two starters, and more or less it's been pretty seamless? Like you've had some bumps with injuries, but almost like you're 24, right? Like there's no issues, and sometimes it backfires.
Yeah, I don't know. I think again, it's such a fine line, right, in this league, and not just this league, and just in professional sports, I think, and in how chemistry comes and goes, and et cetera. I mean, maybe it's even more pronounced in basketball because one guy's 20% of who's on the floor, right? So it's a bigger chunk of the chemistry pie, I guess. I don't know. Our guys have just fit in, right? And the guys around them have accepted. I think we've had some guys playing really well. Like Serge just played great. Pascal's, those guys have played as good as they can play. And Danny and Kawhi are really good pros that are also really good players, and they care about winning, right? Serge and Pascal care about winning, and we know Kyle does with the way he plays. I don't know, just good.
Some of your injuries, has it allowed you to avoid challenges of finding minutes for guys?
A little bit.
Here has been able to
A little bit.
see some time, right?
A little bit. I think a little bit. We've been able to get some long looks at some guys, and there's a long stretch of games there where they really didn't have much choice, right? And that kind of works both ways too, right? I think the not having much choice wasn't much fun there when we weren't playing great, because it's usually you could motivate guys a little bit by taking them in and out once in a while, and we didn't have that luxury for a while, right?
If you feel chemistry slipping the wrong way, as a coach, how do you correct that?
Well, I mean, it comes and goes to a degree, Doug, and I think some of the times and some of the conversations you have are just kind of making sure that the priority, the role is defined again, or the priority of the role is defined again. And I think there's always like you talk about guys understanding their roles. I always think there's a list of things that defines their roles, and what order they come in is the understanding of how clearly they understand their role. Like, and just every now and then you're going to have to say, hey, don't forget you're primarily a rim protector. Then you're this, or whatever it is. And I think those are the conversations I try to just steer them back more to center of understanding their roles.
Have you ever had a team just blow up on you during the season, like in all those years, all over?
Yeah, probably a few times here and there. Yeah.
Any anecdotes?
Well, it's I don't know. I guess to answer your question is yeah. Probably several, to be honest, right? It's and when I was coaching, in the minors, it's a stressful situation, right? Those guys aren't making much money, and there's some real life issues more that are affecting those guys. They're one step from the NBA, and they're also one step from career being over, maybe, right? So that's that line they're riding. So you had to be really showing more empathy with those guys probably than trying to rattle them back in to keep them in line. It was more we get it. Let's just take some time here, and there'll be some ups and downs and things like that.
Is it late enough in the year now that you think of something like a tiebreaker when you play Boston this late in the year?
I haven't thought of it till just now. So maybe. I don't know. I don't really.
I just know you mentioned.
I don't really try to focus in on that stuff. We like to win them. of course, right? But not any more than we like to win every other game. And like I say, every game presents its own problems, right? I don't know. I just kind of want to keep playing a little bit better, and I sense that we are getting better, and there's a little more chemistry and a little more togetherness, and I just keep kind of inching that forward as we go.